introduction about myself. I'm Suji Yan, and I jumped into the crypto space. I think back in 2016, 2017. And then that time I dropped out from college. Before that, I was also a journalist, and then engineer, like many different experiences. But after I spent most of my time for my project at the decentralized project. This is something I did before programming crypto. It's something called like 996. You probably guys heard of that in the media. And it's like the anti-overworking culture in China, and which got viral in 2019. Get reported by all these major media, right? And say like, oh, we should not, overwork, tech workers are workers. But I didn't solve the problem fundamentally. The reason this is like a tech worker class has some fundamental reason, right? And the more we dig into this area, the more we dig out there's nothing to do. And something I learned over the years, and also combined with the knowledge of the network state, and we see this on network state, that we are actually in the very interesting state of the cyberspace. So in my opinion, this is not only my opinion, it's like some from interesting opinion. The cyberspace is an independent space. It's like the American, right? America is an independent space, it's a new continent. And all of us is not born in cyberspace. We take the Mayflower to the cyberspace. Mayflower may be our phone, maybe our laptop, but we just somehow move to the cyberspace, right? And there's different stage of the governance of the cyberspace. So the first stage is we just found out, oh, there's a cyberspace, there's the internet, it's really cool. People take profit of it, right? People will do something on top of it. It's like the internet boom after 2000. There's a lot of company IPO, a lot of money into the space. That's a little bit like the East Indian company trying to colonize every place they found out, right? The second stage, which is what we are experiencing right now, is the huge conglomerates of the IT giants are now trying to take over different places. Like, like we're the fintech giants. We're the social giants, like basically it's the social giants. So we are taking over, like just some part of the cyberspace. Just like the colonized United States. Before the United States colonized certain states, they have different owner, different people to enjoy it. And then the third stage, I think that is the Web 3.0. A lot of people ask me, what is Web 3.0? Like, why it's related with Web 2? Why it's related with internet? I think the real Web 2.0, in my opinion, the ownership, in my opinion, is independence. It's independence, and there's some kind of revolution that the people of cyberspace now actually have the governance right of the cyberspace they live in, or their assets are residing, right? So that stage is right now, and we just entering that stage. We see some very interesting experiments. This morning we saw the founder of the Ethereum Metallic gave these very interesting thought experiments. So what we are at the stage right now. Yeah, so what we are the stage right now is the concept of network state is thought like last year, but this is not a really new concept. So a small explanation of network state that a lot of the crypto people, like Balaj is the writer of the author of the network state, and other like four people, we believe that we're transitioning power from the state to the network. Just like I mentioned, I think cyberspace is an independent space. It's like the North America is a new continent. So we migrate from the old continent to the new continent, and we see people conquering different places. Now we ask for the independence. We ask for to form our own governance. In that process, we may lead to the so-called network state, right? We may have a governance system on the internet. We may have like netizens, which is invested. But this is not really a new concept, even though the book is just released like last year. The crypto community is relatively new, only like 5 years old to think about this concept. This is not really a new concept. The year it was born, 1996. Okay, this is 2014 from Julia Assange. That he mentioned the word is not slightly, but pretty bad. Into a new transnational dystopia, into our greatest tool for has been transformed into the most dangerous. It's pretty bad words. This is like 2012, and when Julia Assange eventually published this book in 2014, it's going to be translated into many languages. At that time, most of the government don't think that's a real thing. This is good. But now, if you read again, it's pretty. I think it's pretty true that now the internet we have today is a threat to the human civilization. So yeah, we are at this stage. We are at the interesting stage that we want to do something different, but how can we do that? Right? We have this skill, so that should be independent. We have some independent power over top of it, but how can we do that? And what's the plan? What's the roadmap? So yeah, I think the first roadmap is still you have to have some organization, start an NGO or start a company, and the company is still the best way to form kind of like organization that people can contribute in, can have some benefiting. And then you start your own community that's basically related to some proof that you are part of the community, right? And in the traditional nation state, proof is called passport. Right? You have a passport. Oh, we are just a member of the passport, what is ID? In the cyberspace, it can be different. It can be a token, it can be an NFT. As long as you can identify this address, this guy is a community member, then we just give them a proof, right? It can be a so-called token. And then the next thing is like, start your own currency. So this thing may become valuable, just like we may, like this afternoon, we're going to see a very historical meaning for currency. You can start it in your mind. You need to have it. Once you have a community, people say, oh, this is a valuable asset, this is a valuable thing to transfer between transactions between people, then you start your own currency, then you start your own country. I think that's theoretically that's going to work, right? And that's hopefully that's going to work. But we're going to break down the details. We're gonna have like a lot of like process, a lot of like roadmaps, one by one, how to do that. So now the AI is the production force. What's 2.0 is like as mentioned, the production innovations that whoever control the data, the asset, and someone to pay your own invented currency to your own unique asset. Eventually we're gonna have this kind of interesting relationship. And the last 5 years, after the launch of Ethereum, after the ICO bubble, we are now at the stage of pretty much decentralized finance. That we're going to have the stable coin, we're going to have everything the same. So in the new cyberspace now, pretty much that we have the new York City. Really. We're in the new cyberspace, pretty much like the new North America, and we have New York City. So we don't have the United States yet. We don't have the governance yet. So, which lead to the governments need to have a lot of people, a lot of conversation, a lot of like, and including entertainment. So that require more communication. Unfortunately, our communication is still, mostly centralized, right? Mostly controlled by Facebook, Twitter. So that's the next stage. I think we're gonna be on. So that Lego is gonna go to the next level. We're gonna have a decentralized social media. We're gonna have decentralized entertainment. We're gonna mimic the burst of like Hollywood, but in a decentralized manner. That time we're gonna have our own company. So that's what we did as a company, as a project, where it's focused on the decentralized social media. But we learned a lot from the historical examples. This is the historical example that every Chinese probably knows that. Dr. Sun Yat-sen, he is the first Chinese guy who did ICO actually. So yeah, because he's famous for raising money, right? And he print money out of nowhere and find like his name, and it's like Chinese Revolution bomb, Chinese Revolution bomb. And if you buy the Chinese Revolution bomb in like 1895, and he promised to put the money into his fund, DAO. And he also promised to generate NFT, which is very famous. Minbao at that time was like a famous NFT. And he promised to use all these things to generate the next value. So again, it's very easy. Start a company, start a DAO, then you start a community. people treat your community very seriously. They're gonna buy your asset, buy your currency. Then put your currency together to generate something unique. Like cyberspace AI in West is very unique. Cannot buy any other any other place cannot buy AI. You can only buy AI in cyberspace. So you generate something unique, then you start a movement. You start something have like a social and cultural goal. So just like Dr. Sam saying, he has goal about the Chinese Revolution, which is eventually I think was quite successful. He spent a 15-year. I think he almost did it. Right? So yeah. And that's what we are doing right now. Is like we figure out that we are at the stage that the financial level is almost ready. We almost have the financial freedom in the decentralized space. Everyone can see on ramp, buy some Bitcoin, Ethereum, DeFi, trade, collateralize, lending, very easy. But the governance level is not ready. And also the discussion about the social consensus and the social contract is not ready. You need decentralized social media. Otherwise, your valuable discussion about the social discussion and deleted by Twitter, or whatever, right? So that's very important. And then next level going to be the cultural movement, and we're going to appreciate the cultural created by the community. We're going to appreciate the importance, and that's the next level. In order to do that, we also have like a fund, mostly our own money and our friend money that we just invest and help those people are trying to do this little thing. So. Again, a quote from Julia Assange that I don't want to read again, but it's really interesting. Very interesting article, not long. You guys probably gonna take a look. And this is what I believe. This is a quote from the 1996 EFF founder, John Peter Barron. His famous statement, his famous declaration of independence of cyberspace. I think we're gonna see the independence of cyberspace in my lifetime, and then in our next generation or next generation, we're going to see the new governance of cyberspace coming into our life. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Suji, for thorough discussion and exploration of the network state movement. So as we are short on time, we'll take one quick question. Suji is a really, really influential and helpful investor and founder in this space. This is your chance. Yes.
Hi, Suji, nice to meet you. So I used mask.io before as an extension for Twitter, so now it's X. So I used that to try to invite my friend on Twitter and also try to do some giveaway kind of events. And also since right now Zuckerberg is trying to stealing users to another social platform called Threads. And also I tried another decentralized social network called Demos. So do you think you regard Mask as one of the potential competitors in terms of social network, in terms of onboarding Web2 users into Web3? Because right now a lot of Web2 users still feel a little bit scared about jumping into Web3 world. And if you're going to do a social network for Mask, what would you do?
I think right now the whole decentralized network space is quite small. The whole population is just like 1 million. And it's 1 million users. And I think the key is to turn the user. That's the key. Because users, you're never gonna have enough, right? Like Facebook have a few billion, I think 4 billion users. Twitter have 2 to 3 billion users. Every internet giant, every company has a good user base, but they just treat user actually as slaves, right? As it's kind of cyber feudalism, right? It's like, oh, this is a Facebook from down, this is a Twitter from down, they have different king. Sometimes they buy, sometimes they're friends. I think the very important key is to somehow enlighten the user to let them to know they are citizens, they're the network state, whatever citizens. Ethereum did a great job, Bitcoin did a great job, it's too small. And for social and cultural and Ethereum movement, they're going to be able to bring more users, bring more users into citizens. So I think the goal is not to say, hey, we're going to compete as giants on the user numbers. Say, hey, they got 1 billion, we got 500 million. That's not how it works. how it works is like, oh, they got 1 billion users, so we're able to convert like 0.1% into citizens. Once they into citizens, they start to ask, oh, can I have my own key? Can I control my own data? And then they're going to start to, do other things like, oh, I want to collateralize my Twitter data and want to bank some stable coin. Can I do that? And there's no bank allowed to do that in the physical world. There's only the bank in the cyberspace allowed to use that, right? Then they're going to open the account in the cyberspace. And they're going to do other things. They're going to say, hey, I have an AI agent, maybe on this AI be my girlfriend. Can I do that? There's no physical state allowed, but there will be more interesting state like allow. There's more space allow this kind of experiment. So these users will become citizens. And then you don't need a lot of citizens. Like Singapore only have like 5 million, right? And here it's much more smaller. But as long as you have a core community, then what you have like diplomacy, you will have something very different than economy. That's a core. Once the conversion rate become much more higher, you're going to have diplomacy over the new state and basically. I think that's the goal we're trying to do. I think Nanos and Nostr doing a great job. But overall, it's very early. Overall, I think the total interested people and engineers is still quite small. Especially right now, it's kind of be a market. So I think it's still a huge chance to do. I don't think we're better. It's too early to anything to compete. It's just too early, but it's very promising area. Yeah.